Are you missing vector games? Are you missing scrolling and rocket rolling in Guitar Hero? Well, now you can get your dance on and play AVICII Invector. The game from a guy that unfortunately passed away too soon, and yeah, he had a lot of cool songs. Now, admittedly, I never really got to AVICII. I think he was a bit too, like, you know, in the last 4 years, so even though I've listened to like Bass Hunter and all the other guys that are kind of in the same genre, dance slash, you know, drums and bass or whatever. But yeah, like his game's pretty cool. He was apparently helping develop it just before he passed away from arguably, you know, being overworked and pressuring himself too much. So I think we got the game a few years after his life was ended. So it really feels like audio surf, but like there's a lot of like funky particle effects and backgrounds and worlds that you play through. I think there's only like, I don't remember if there's like 15 or 20 tracks. I could be totally wrong, but it feels like audio surf, but like at the same time it's got a unique, and like the graphics are far more impressive and detailed. You know, neon graphics, particle effects. You know, they're a visual feast, and it's like beautiful to watch. It's a little bit distracting when you're playing the game, but if you're watching someone else play, it's actually far more fun to see them in action. But yeah, you have to focus on like the stage accuracy when you're playing this, and it's a little bit distracting because the graphics do take away a bit from you able to focus. Plus, like, I feel like even on easy or beginner, this game's difficulty is like really high. I was playing on medium, and I didn't realize there was a beginner stage when I first played it, like a beginner difficulty. But playing on medium, it feels like a hard or super hard in other games. So they definitely raised the bar for people that want a real big challenge. The songs are cool. I'm not really familiar with most of them because, again, I wasn't a fan when unfortunately he was around and doing concerts. But yeah, I actually prefer the versions that they put in this game, which seem to be, you know, rearrangements of some of the songs. I actually prefer them without having heard the originals. So the music's very upbeat. Like, it's definitely dance music, and it makes you want to keep playing. Like, admittedly, I first played this last week. I just didn't have time to do this recording, and I actually came back today to sort of refresh my mind of, you know, how this game was. And like, it's a great game to, I wouldn't play it through in one go because there's too many tracks and it's really intense to, you know, which leads into like my main criticism of this game is like, on the medium difficulties, even on like, I think it was easy. Easy is definitely not easy. Like, whoever named that difficulty easy, it's close to hard on the later tracks. Like the last few tracks, they get so insane. Like, it gives you a split second. You can rotate the track, and sometimes you have to. Like, sometimes you'll be hitting the buttons here, and then suddenly you have to rotate to the, say, the right or left, and you have like a split second to do that. So like, there's not a lot of forgiveness pretty much when you're playing this game compared to, say, like other games like Guitar Hero on easy. Like, easy on Guitar Hero, here you're like strumming and hitting one button. This game on easy, it's like you have to have played other games on at least hard, which is kind of a shame. I mean, if you can adapt to it, it's not so bad, but yeah, it's just kind of tricky. Like, they make it so you have to beat each stage on, no matter what the difficulty is, you have to get 75% or higher. And I feel like on the easier difficulties, at least up until like whatever comes after medium, I think hard, they should have lowered, you know, the challenge a bit, because that's not hard. That's more like super hard, as I was saying. It's a challenging game. Like, it's fun, but like, it can easily be overwhelming. And compared to like other games in this sort of like music genre, it's definitely like very, you have to know the song, or you have to like keep the beat very well. Like it's really emphasizes accuracy, as opposed to like some games like Guitar Hero. Some of the games, like, it will let you flub and like it won't hit your score. This game will hit your score very quickly, even on like easy and medium difficulties. But yeah, I really like the rotation effects. I think that I don't recall seeing that in Audio Surf or any of the other games kind of like this, or Guitar Hero especially, which was neat to see at first. But like, it adds like an extra depth of challenge, not necessarily always in a good way, because like suddenly some tracks you're spinning around and it's like spin, 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 and you have to be on the ball. Like, you have to be able to hit that button, the A button, or X button, or the LB to do the bright line on time, and that's really hard to do. Like, I couldn't imagine anyone doing it with anything but a controller, but even with the controller in your hands, it's still really tricky to time it perfectly. So it's a kind of a shame, you know, if you know, maybe it's easier on beginner. I only played like one track on beginner and the rest on medium or hard. But yeah, like, you have to have good skills, like real skills, legit skills. Otherwise, it's going to be almost impossible for you to hit that 75%. There were some times I hit like 69%, or I hit like, I think like 73%. I'm like, oh, come on, just give me the pass. Like, it's that close to 75%. So, yeah, I think there's 24 tracks. But yeah, sometimes it's really tricky. Like, there was one track I played, I think it was one of the second last tracks in the game, Believer, I think. I don't know. But like, you have to tap that LB. It's like bop, 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 bop. Like, the sync, just to sync that in is really hard on a button, and like, you're not sure if you're fully hitting it too. So that's kind of a bummer, when you're hitting the same button, but like the pattern changes that quickly, even for one button. But yeah, there's like 24 packs, that tracks, and 2 DLC packs. So there's a lot of gameplay. He has a lot more content than I thought he did. But yeah, you pretty much have to have the tracks memorized. Like, that's the only way you can get through this, it seems. And I feel like the recovery in this game is a lot harsher than like other Guitar Heroes and games. Like, if you make one mistake, it's gonna really get you, even on like medium or easy. Like, it's not easy. It's like medium to hard, that difficulty. So, and like, you can't have your score lowered, because otherwise you can't like unlock the next tier as well. The game goes for like $22, and it goes for another 15 Canadian. 20 seems fair, but if you can get it for 10 or 15, I'm not sure if it's like a game that you'll play for a long time unless you really love his music. I would give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Like, it's a breath of fresh air after we've gone through all the Guitar Heroes and other games, the Let's Sing It's and stuff. Like, this is something similar, but it's still a bit different enough that you're gonna enjoy it, and it's gonna be worth your time for sure, especially at the prices I mentioned. But yeah, if you dislike rhythm games, you might want to try it at your friend's house, or if you've played Audio Surf, then you probably know what you're getting into, or Guitar Hero. A lot of people have, but yeah, check it out, and keep the beat. Keep on gaming. Bye.